I'll do a modern dance interpretive explanation for you.
Perfect.
In the beginning.
I can do some nice CGI.
Martha Graham it. There you go.
In the beginning, our source that we're using here is a Kaleidoscape device. We're using its HDMI output. That's going into the Storm decoder, HDMI 2.0, right? Or what are we at? 2.1? What version? So 2.0. The Storm decoder is untangling all the signals that are in the stream. Immersive audio containing up to however many channels you want. In this case, we have 23 channels in this setup. So StormAudio is looking at the signal coming in, saying, "Oh, this is Dolby Digital, this is Dolby Atmos, this is DTS HD, whatever it is," and untangling all of that and feeding out all of those signals through a stream over one Cat6 cable. That one Cat6 cable, and I'll point it out when we're over there, goes into a network switch. Network switch, in this case we have a 48 port that goes into the network switch, and plugged out of the network switch is a bunch of cables that then go into all of the amplifiers that drive the speakers. In this case we have an amplifier for the left, an amplifier for the center, an amplifier for the right, one amp that's for the wide left, wide right, side left, side right 1, side left, side right 2, back left, back right, top left, top right 1, 2, and 3. Another amp for the main subwoofers, and a final amp for the infrasonic subwoofers. So there's a stack of all of those amps. They all receiving a Cat6 cable. Output of those amps is finally analog. It's speaker level signal run through a number of 14.4 cables. They run up and over the room, in the back of the room, and hit all of the different speakers. And finally, the speakers in the room are 3 fronts, 2 wides, 4 sides, two sets of sides, 2 backs, 6 tops, a front set, a middle set, and a back set, and then 4 subwoofers in the 4 corners for the, I'm going to call it the middle bass, from 40 hertz up to about 80 hertz, and then 2 big infrasonic subwoofers from 40 hertz and down. That's all wired with straightforward 14.4 wiring. But what I'm going to have you guys do is come stand over here and look at the back of the Storm decoder. Normally you would have a whole bunch of XLR connections. For 23 channels, you'd have 23 XLRs plugged in here, and then you'd have a whole bunch of line level signals going into the Phoenix connectors of the amps. Instead, there's one single blue colored Cat6 cable that goes over to the very plain vanilla network switch over here. And at the output of the network switch, we have signals going to every one of the amps. So I'm going to point to something you guys may be able to see. You see these 3 connectors over here, these 3 RJ45s. That's the digital audio through AES67 and control network going into the amps for maybe the white channels, some of the surround, some of the backs, I don't remember. And then down here, same thing for the subwoofers. All right. So the main point is this is really pretty simple to put together, way more foolproof, less noise, less hassles, and also the ability to quickly reconfigure. Like let's say a client goes, I really wanted this to come out here, and then instead of having to repatch channels, you can just go into the network interface control panel and go, okay, reconnect that from here to here. If there's a use case where somebody goes, I'm really happy to have my sound in this theater, but I also really want to send this out to a cabana out in the pool. Pretty easy. The signal that comes out of here that's called left through the network can go to another amplifier called left. You don't actually have to run any cables. You just need to have at least one network feed to the cabana, and you can replicate a theater somewhere there. Just through the bits getting there. So I'm going to have you guys look at the back of this. Main thing to look at is the outputs, which is very, very simplified.